Hello again, all the gardeners out there. So, what I have here is a Better Boy Plus. A lot of you guys will be familiar with Better Boy. It's a world renowned tomato, super popular. So, Better Boy Plus is just Better Boy, but with even better disease resistance and even better taste, is what they say. I have yet to try it. Very excited to try it because an improvement on Better Boy would be fantastic because I've already had good luck with it. Now, of course, not as good a flavor, of course, compared to heirlooms, but the production is huge and the disease resistance is great. The vigor is great. Nice little factoid about these that not everybody may know. Better Boy has or had, might still have, the world record for the most amount of production from one plant. It was 300 something pounds of tomatoes. I'm almost positive. Go look it up on Google, but I'm pretty sure it was 300 something pounds of fruit from one plant. So, world record there. Um, from what I've read with these, the fruit is a little smaller. It seems like with every iteration, like it goes from Big Boy to Better Boy Plus, and then there's Best Boy and all this. Um, they get better and better in other ways, but the fruit is smaller. So if the fruit's a little smaller, I don't really care because it's already plenty big. I'm wanting to say they said it was like 6 or 8 ounces or something like that. That's still fine for a slicer. But I'm really excited about this because, like I said, I've had great success and there's a great history with Better Boy, tried and true tomato variety. And if it's even better than that on disease resistance and flavor, I'm excited to try it. So what we have here is, judging from the thumbnail that I'm planning on using, you guys are probably going to be like, when you see the thumbnail, you're going to be like, what? Are you kidding me? But anyway, this is 3% peroxide, sterilized scissors. But this solution I already made up right here is 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water. So since this is already 3%, this will be now 1% because it's diluted 1 to 2 or whatever, if my math is right. Anyway, very weak solution is the point. It's going to be less than 3%, probably 1%. 1 part peroxide and 2 parts water. And what you're going to want to do is just completely drown this plant in it. I can't 100% guarantee it won't hurt the plant. All I can say is I've done it to many, many plants and never had any problems at all. I think the secret to it is, of course, don't leave it submerged too long. And then once it's done, don't put it out in the sun. Just put it in a dark room with a fan on it until it dries out. It should be fine. Again, I've done this, I can't tell you how many times, and I've never had any issue. So, what this does is it sort of resets the plant back to no, almost no, very close to no possibility of having any harmful microbial life or viruses or fungi or whatever. So it gives a nice, clean, fresh start. Now, what a lot of people will say is, no, don't do that because it'll kill all the beneficial bacteria and da 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 da. Well, that's true to an extent, but it's in the seedling stage right now. So you're still going to be putting it in, hopefully a large pot or in the ground. At that point, nature will take its course and reintroduce the beneficial bacteria, fungi, whatever, all the good stuff. Or you can reintroduce it yourself. You can buy the stuff from the store, the mycorrhizae and stuff like that, if I'm even pronouncing that right, and just add it back. So it's not like once you kill it, you're only killing it on this tiny little amount of plant and soil. It's going to be in probably at least a 5 or 10 gallon pot, if not more, like 15 or 20 or 30. I mean, a lot of people use very big pots for an indeterminate variety. So it's going to be in that, or it's going to be in the ground. A lot of soils already come with the beneficial microbes already pre-added. A lot of fertilizers do. Um, so the point is, you're going to have more than enough opportunity to restore that microbial life, or whatever you want to call it, to the soil that you need, that you don't necessarily need, but it has to be there in order to have a natural soil biome or whatever the word is, where these things break down organic matter and stuff and feed your plant. So I understand the science and the want and need, at least on a basic enough level to understand why people would want to keep that available for their plants. But the point is even if you kill out off this little tiny self-contained little thing, the bugs in it per se, you're still going to have, again, every opportunity to reintroduce the beneficial microbial life and whatnot later on. If you don't do it yourself, it'll probably just take its course and come back, with rainwater and blah blah blah. Nature does it on its own. So what you're going to want to do is, this probably is not the best container because I don't think I can fit the entire thing in there, but I can probably submerge this for 15 minutes and then submerge the top for 15 minutes, whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's usually what I do. I usually leave it in there for maybe 15 minutes to half an hour. And if I remember right, peroxide is, I don't want to say highly oxygenated, but when you add it to your root ball, it adds more oxygen to your root ball on a temporary basis. So therefore, your plant's going to get its beneficial, not beneficial, it's necessary oxygen enough to where while it's submerged, it's not going to drown or whatever, for lack of better words. So first thing you want to do is, at this stage, you don't want flowers and these lower leaves, lower branches. So let me just take those off real quick. So here we go. That's just about ideal. Be careful. Do not take off the very top branches. Sometimes it's hard to tell what is I forget what they call it, the growing tip or whatever. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's what there, but just don't ever take off the very top. Leave the top few branches, 2 or 3, whatever, like that. Be very careful when you take off those flower buds and flowers, because a lot of times they're very small. It's hard to see where to cut. Got to be kind of like a surgeon, and not sure why I didn't have the light on. Excuse me. But take off the flower buds, take off all but just the top branches that, like, you probably don't even need that much, but you just leave enough to where it can photosynthesize. I could probably also take this lower one off and just leave these other ones right here. But anyway, just take all the branches and flower buds off and leave it essentially like that. In fact, I may go ahead and take that other one off, or maybe not. No, I do want it to have enough. It might photosynthesize a little slow if I just leave that. And I'm always afraid to leave it with almost nothing. So that should be fine. Anyway, that will also give a better setup being in the peroxide and then giving it time to heal these wounds. You want to heal those wounds before you put it in the ground. You don't want these open wounds. If it will even focus, probably not. You can probably see that. You don't want those open where diseases can get in and stuff. So you want that to heal over before you put it in the ground. Give it a few days, probably 2 or 3 days. You can tell by looking at it, but just to be on the safe side, 2 or 3 days, something like that, maybe even longer. It takes patience to be a gardener. So once you get it trimmed like that, or maybe even take that one off, but I'll leave that because I think it's okay. Then what you're going to want to do is just drown your plant in the peroxide, and it probably will make it overflow because I didn't think ahead and factor in water displacement. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe it'll be okay. Drowning the tomato. Oh, it's very buoyant. Anyway, so you can just hold it in there or put something in there to weigh it down. But I'm going to leave it in there for maybe 15 minutes, weigh it down with something, and then I'm going to put this other portion underneath for about 15 minutes. And hold on, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I decided just to do this in at the sink so I wouldn't make such a mess. But as you can probably tell from the plant, having dirt all the way up on the top up here, I submerged the top and the bottom separately. So you're just gonna take my word for it on this. I have no reason to lie to you, but I had the bottom submerged for about 15 minutes, and then I had the top submerged for about 15 minutes. I don't remember which order, but I did one then the other. So, and you can obviously see all the dirt from having that part dunked under. So, just leave this in the dark with a fan on it until it dries off. You should have seen all the bubbling. It was ridiculous from the peroxide just killing off, all the microbial life or whatever was in there. Tons of white bubbling. Anyway, so it's all been soaked, and don't worry, that dirt will just dry and fall off in the wind or whatever when you plant your plant out or whatever. But just it's all been soaked in peroxide solution. Set it in a dark room with the fan on, let it dry off, and then when you go to plant it out, just loosen your root ball near the bottom, about a third of it. Loosen it all up with your fingers, and then plant it as close to those bottom branches as you can without the branches actually touching the dirt. And like I said, that will dry off and the dirt will fall off and everything. You'll have a nice clean plant in the top later on. So don't worry about the fact that it looks a little cruddy right now. But yeah, so once you trim it up and soak it and everything and loosen that root ball, and like I said, give those places where you cut off branches a few days to heal, then you'll have a clean, healed, trimmed up, pruned plant. And if I forgot anything, because it's very late, I'm very tired, I will put it in the description or something like that. But I think that's about it. And you'll have a nice, clean, disease-free, strong start of a plant to put in your garden or wherever you're planting it. Works fantastic. I've done this a million times with fantastic results. And I hope you guys have the same kind of results I did. See you next time.